Okay, so Betty, are you ready for this? We're diving into a Hypno Vibes video today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's called Elon Musk Soul Contract Reading Hypno Channeling.
Wow. Hypno channeling.
I know, right? It's wild. So we're talking about Naomi, the hypnotherapist, you know, and she guides Navi into this deep trance where Navi supposedly becomes a channel for these like higher energies.
So the idea is that the messages aren't coming from Navi, right?
Right.
But from this channeled energy, it's like tapping into some universal wisdom, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like bypassing all the usual filters of the conscious mind.
Yeah.
And get this, in this session, they're trying to connect with Elon Musk's higher self.
Oh, wow.
Like, apparently his higher self has some interesting things to say.
I bet.
About things like dark energy portals, his support for Donald Trump, past lives, and even extraterrestrials.
Oh.
I know, it's a lot. So think of it this way. It's not Navi giving her opinion on Elon Musk, right?
Right.
It's about accessing this deeper level of consciousness.
Yeah.
That might hold insights that we wouldn't normally be privy to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so walk us through how this hypno channeling thing actually works.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what's the vibe like in these sessions?
Well, Naomi sets a very relaxed atmosphere, you know, and she kind of explains that she uses hypno channeling to connect with specific energies, using people who are easily hypnotized as conduits.
Okay.
And she really emphasizes that the messages come from a higher realm, not from the person being hypnotized.
So in this case, it's Navi who's the conduit.
Right.
And they're trying to connect with Elon Musk's higher self.
Exactly.
What happens once Navi's in that hypnotic state?
Well, Naomi starts asking questions about Elon Musk.
Okay.
And one of the first things the channeled energy reveals is that Elon is unknowingly connected to negative energy portals.
Hold up. Negative energy portals? That sounds pretty intense.
I know, right?
Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it does sound kind of scary.
Yeah.
But the channeled energy clarifies that Elon isn't intentionally opening these portals. Okay.
It's described as a mutual of this time and place, implying it's happening outside of his direct control.
So it makes you wonder, like, what does that even mean? Is it some kind of like cosmic accident?
Right.
Or is there something more to it?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It definitely challenges our understanding of how energy works and how individuals might be connected to forces beyond their conscious awareness.
And how does Naomi handle this information? Like, does she just take it at face value? Or does she question it?
She does both, actually.
Really?
Yeah, she acknowledges that the information could be filtered through Navi's own beliefs about Elon.
Okay.
But at the same time, she's open to the possibility that there's truth in what's being revealed.
It's like she's walking this tightrope between skepticism and open-mindedness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes this whole hypno-channeling thing so fascinating.
Yeah.
It requires us to suspend our disbelief to some extent, while also engaging our critical thinking skills. Okay, so we've got Elon unknowingly connected to negative energy portals.
Right.
What else does his higher self reveal?
Well, this might surprise you, but the channeled energy claims that Elon genuinely supports Donald Trump.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah, and not for any personal gain or anything like that.
That seems completely out of left field. Like,
right. It's not the kind of connection you'd expect.
Yeah.
But the energy suggests there might be a deeper link between them, possibly even a past life connection.
A past life connection.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Wow. Okay, so we're going there.
Yeah. Yeah, past lives are a big theme in this session, it seems like. Elon's higher self has a lot to say about his past experiences and how they're shaping his present life, you know?
So it's not just about Elon and Trump knowing each other from a past life, there's more.
Yeah, much more. The channeled energy reveals that this isn't Elon's first time walking the earth. Apparently he had a significant role back in the time of Atlantis.
Atlantis. Like the lost city. Are you serious?
That's what the channeled energy is suggesting. And get this. They claim Elon was involved in something related to the deceptive nature of taking control of our people's minds.
Whoa, that paints a very different picture of Elon Musk. It makes you wonder if there's a darker side to his ambition, a part of him that's still grappling with the consequences of his actions from that past life.
It's definitely food for thought, and it raises questions about the nature of karma and how experiences from past lives might influence our present actions. Could Elon be unconsciously drawn to similar patterns of control and innovation that might have led to Atlantis' downfall? You know?
That's a pretty heavy concept, and it makes you wonder, how much of who we are today is shaped by experiences we don't even consciously remember.
It's a fascinating idea, and it's not just limited to Elon. The channeled energy implies that many people in positions of power have likely been with each other in past lives.
It's like some kind of cosmic reunion at the top. But if past lives can influence our present actions, that adds a whole new layer of complexity to understanding how the world works, right?
Absolutely. It suggests that history might not be as straightforward as we think. Perhaps there are karmic ties and soul contracts playing out on a grand scale, shaping the course of events and influencing the decisions of those in power.
So we've got Elon potentially carrying baggage from Atlantis, maybe even having past life connections with people like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Where does that leave him in terms of his future?
Well, despite the potential shadows from his past, the session suggests Elon has a pretty bright future ahead of him. The channeled energy predicts that he will play a positive role in open contact with extraterrestrials.
Okay, so we've gone from negative energy portals to past lives in Atlantis, and now we're talking about aliens. This is a wild ride.
It definitely keeps you on your toes. But the session doesn't just mention contact with extraterrestrials. It suggests Elon might even be involved in setting up conferences between celestials and humankind.
Now that's something I'd love to witness. Imagine being a fly on the wall during those conversations.
It would be mind-blowing, wouldn't it, to hear what these celestials have to say about the universe, about humanity's place in the grand scheme of things.
So the session paints this picture of Elon as a sort of intergalactic ambassador, bridging the gap between humans and extraterrestrials. But what about his work here on Earth? What about his companies and his vision for the future?
The channeled energy does touch upon that as well. They mention Elon's contributions to AI and space exploration, but there's a caveat: his future impact depends on his lifespan.
It's a reminder that even someone like Elon Musk, with all his ambition and drive, is still subject to the limitations of human existence.
Exactly. It brings a sense of grounding to the whole conversation. It reminds us that even those who seem larger than life are still bound by the same fundamental realities as the rest of us.
But here's the thing that keeps nagging at me. If Elon is destined for this incredible future, bridging the gap between humanity and extraterrestrials, how does that square with the whole negative energy portal thing and the potential shadows from his past?
That's a valid point. It seems like there's a tension between these different aspects of Elon's character, a kind of cosmic tug-of-war between his potential for both good and bad.
It's almost like he's this complex, multidimensional being, capable of both extraordinary brilliance and potentially destructive actions. It's a bit unsettling, to be honest.
It is. It challenges our simplistic notions of good and evil, heroes and villains. It suggests that even those we might consider heroes can have flaws, can make choices that contradict their higher purpose.
So how do we make sense of it all? How do we reconcile these seemingly contradictory aspects of Elon Musk?
Perhaps that's the wrong question to ask. Maybe it's not about reconciling these different facets, but about accepting that they can coexist within a single individual. Maybe true understanding lies in embracing the complexity, the contradictions, the inherent messiness of human nature.
That's a really interesting perspective. It's like saying we shouldn't try to force people into neat little boxes. We should be open to the possibility that they can be both flawed and brilliant, capable of both great and terrible things.
Precisely. And perhaps that's the ultimate takeaway from this hypno-channeling session. It's not about judging Elon Musk or trying to label him as good or bad. It's about acknowledging the multifaceted nature of his being, the interplay of light and shadow, the potential for both positive and negative impact.
It's a lot to process, but it's definitely given me a new perspective on Elon Musk and on human nature in general, for that matter.
That's the power of exploring unconventional perspectives like hypno-channeling. It can shake up our assumptions and push us to think outside the box.
So as we head into the final part of our deep dive, what are some of the lingering questions that you're still grappling with? What's standing out to you as the most intriguing or thought-provoking aspect of this session?
For me, it's the question of how much our past lives truly influence our present actions. If we accept the possibility of karmic ties and soul contracts, how does that change our understanding of free will and personal responsibility?
That's a deep one, and it makes you wonder if we're all just playing out predetermined roles, or if we have the power to break free from those patterns and forge our own destinies.
It's a question worth pondering, and perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. A delicate dance between destiny and free will, where we're both shaped by our past and capable of creating our future.
All right, Betty. So we're back. And, we can't talk about Elon Musk without talking about his companies.
Of course not.
So does this session talk about them?
Yeah, it actually does. The session mentions that Elon has partnerships with corporations that aren't really looking out for humanity's best interests.
So it's not all sunshine and roses with Elon's companies.
Not necessarily.
But, he's supposed to be the one, leading us to a brighter future.
Yeah.
Setting up those conferences with extraterrestrials, remember?
Right, but it seems like even super geniuses can get caught up in the whole world of business and power,
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
The session even suggests that Elon might be involved with these corporations for personal gain.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a bummer to hear.
Yeah.
It's like that cosmic tug of war we were talking about,
Yeah.
The light and shadow parts of his character. He has this huge potential for good.
Yeah.
But also the capacity for actions that might not be so great for humanity.
It definitely adds another layer to the conversation. It reminds us that we can't just see someone as a hero or a villain.
Right.
We have to be willing to see the nuance, the complexity, the potential for both good and bad.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
So that brings us back to the main question.
What's that?
Who is the real Elon Musk? Is he this visionary genius, the ambassador for humanity, or is there a darker side to all of this?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? And I don't think there's a simple answer.
Yeah, I guess not.
This session, it kind of gives us a glimpse into who he might be,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't really give us a clear judgment,
Yeah.
It leaves us with more questions than answers.
Which I think is the most interesting part.
I think so, too.
It's like we've peeled back one layer of the onion, but there's still so many layers underneath.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point, realizing that even someone as famous as Elon Musk is still a mystery.
Right. And maybe that's something we can apply to everyone, not just Elon.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
We should always be open to the idea that there's more to the story than what we see on the surface.
Okay, I like that.
Everyone has hidden depths and complexities that make them who they are.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And ultimately, we can never really fully know another person.
So Betty, as we wrap up our deep dive today, we want to leave you with a few things to think about. This session, with all its crazy revelations, it gives us a different way to see the world and everyone in it. It makes us question our assumptions, embrace the unknown, and accept how complex humans really are.
And if you're interested in learning more about raising your consciousness,
Oh, yeah.
Naomi Shu's The Next Level U-Book series is a great place to start. You can find it on Amazon. It explores hypnochanneling, quantum healing, and all sorts of things about expanding human potential.
Sounds cool. So until next time, Betty, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the things that fascinate you. You never know what you might discover.
Exactly.
As a Level 2 quantum healing hypnotherapist, Naomi practices an innovative form of hypnosis called hypnochanneling, where she works with individuals who are easily hypnotized to invite certain energies to come through their bodies, enabling us to receive messages from higher realms, not from the channelers themselves. If you have paranormal or NDE experiences or any spiritual interest in QHHT, contact us at healingandretreats.com. In this hypno-channeling session, Elon Musk's higher self reveals he is unknowingly connected to negative energy portals, but genuinely supports Donald Trump. He has business ties with corporations and was involved in transformative work during Atlantis. In the future, he will play a positive role in extraterrestrial contact, AI, and space exploration.
And now, I'd like to invite whatever the appropriate energy to come through, and I'd like to ask questions regarding this person, Elon Musk. So when I count to 3, the energy will be here. 1 coming through, 2, and 3. Hello. Hi. Who I'm speaking with?
Elon Musk's higher self.
Oh, I was not sure if I want to talk to the higher self. See, I hear different things about this person. Basically, I want to know, what is his role on Earth at this time?
To gather people together, to contribute his knowledge to others, scientific technology,
Yeah. So it
mainly
sounds,
those two.
why I'm hearing that he's opening some portals to allow some dark energies to come through.
That's not his role. It's happening without his assistance.
So he's doing it
It's just the nature of this time and place why that's happening. It's not him particularly.
So of course, because when I hear this channeler is talking about this, and I understand the energy come through him, will also be filtered by this channeler's understanding. So it might be this channeler's, belief about him. So let's say Elon is maybe doing something, but not on the conscious level.
That is correct.
Why he's so supporting Donald Trump?
He wants to.
Not because he's going to gain something.
No. It's his desire.
I kind of feel that he's doing it in a genuine way.
He
Because
is.
anything else we can know about him? He's, let's say, this life on Earth is his first time as human,
No.
and
Been there in the time of the Atlantis. Did some type of work, but was involved in the deceptive nature of taking control of other people's minds.
so he's an evolved.
He is.
So let's say how he's going to interact with the open contact in a couple of years.
Set up conferences between extraterrestrials and humankind to facilitate collaboration on artificial intelligence as well as space exploration.
So he's going to play a positive and active role.
For the most part, yes. If his lifetime allows it to be.
Anything that we don't know about him and it's good for us to know?
He does have partnerships with corporations that are not seeking the best in humanity. He does have dealings with those corporations that do not have the best interest in humanity.
Right. So he has been dealing with those corporations.
Yes.
Because?
He wants to. It's for his own personal gain as well.
So let's say he and Donald Trump, they know each other from other lifetimes.
They do.
That makes sense.
Most of the people in Trump's circle have been with him in one time or another.
All right. So, all right. I appreciate this connection and your info. And thank you again.
You're welcome.